Greetings everyone, this is Terra Lumination. I'm making this little video on Saturday the 28th. It's the new moon in Libra. Okay, I'm making this because there are some technical errors on every report. It's not something that's going to change your life or the world or anything, but I just don't like having the errors going without acknowledgement. Okay, it's pretty simple. On all the reports, and I'm going to show you in a little while, I made note as though Pluto and Uranus and Neptune were all retrograde all month. And I also showed on some of the Astrodoodles that Saturn is also retrograde all month. Here's the problem. It's not quite true. At the very, very tippy beginning of the month, Pluto is retrograde, yes, but we've been at the 0 point, at the stationary point for the whole of September. So effectively now, I'm just going to call this corrections. Okay. Pluto is in fact in direct motion. Okay? It is no longer retrograde. And it's the same for Pluto, same for Saturn, okay? I don't think I talked about it as that way, but it shows up on the charts that on most of them, I have a little squiggle that shows that Saturn is retrograde, okay? So I'm going to write it as well here, okay? Saturn is also in direct motion. Now that's probably not going to concern much of anybody because these are very deep currents. A lot of people wouldn't notice or sense that they're happening, but they're happening anyway. And it's not going to change the reports at all. It's just a technical correction. Okay, I'm going to show you. Here's where I made the note here. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde all month. That is not true. I just scratched out Pluto. It is only Uranus and Neptune that are retrograde all month. Okay? There's nothing in here about Saturn retrograde. Okay? So let me show you. I'm just going to do it through each sign one by one. Sorry, this might be a very kind of grim or annoying video, but I think it's really important just for the question of, integrity. So I will show you. I'm going to put this aside over here, one by one. Here is the report for Aries. Now you'll see up here, see that little R squiggly X thing there and there? That's an indication for astrologers in Western astrology to show that a planet is in retrograde motion. Okay? This is incorrect. So I'm going to show the correction here. I'm going to scratch it out. Okay? And that's it. That's it. Very, very simple for Aries. Okay. Uranus, okay, which is over here, is still retrograde, so I have to make a correction there. Let me show you. So I'm going to mark that over here. Okay. Uranus is retrograde. Let me just double, triple, quadruple check. Yes. Okay, for the whole month, just like Neptune. And I'm also going to mark Neptune as retrograde. We already have that. So this is correct, and this is now correct. And my apologies for the errors. Next, we're going to move on to Taurus. Okay, so I'm going to I use all these impersonal readings in case anybody wants to know. So they will be corrected by the time anybody needs a personal reading. Okay, so I'm going to mark it over here. Let's go to the Capricorn stuff first. And this is, so Pluto and Saturn are now in direct motion. In other words, if you could look up into the sky and see all that stuff, it would look like they're going in their normal orbit forward. Over here, Uranus is retrograde, okay? And we have Neptune is retrograde. So these are corrected now. This is already correct, and this is now corrected, okay? So this is the correct astrodoodle. Let's move on to Gemini. You'll see a pattern as it unfolds, okay? Here we go. Let's do it this way. Here is Pluto and Saturn in the 8th house, ruled by Capricorn for you guys, Geminis. So these are moving direct, okay? Now, if you want to find out what all that stuff means, that's a whole other thing. But I just wanted to get it technically correct on the videos, okay? And so Uranus is retrograde over here. And we already have Neptune marked as direct, so I'm going to fix that to go retrograde over here. Okay, so this is now corrected. Neptune in Pisces retrograde, and Uranus in Taurus retrograde. Okay, don't be scared. It's okay. I'm just doing a technical correction because I don't want anybody to call it out, and at least I'll have it on record that at least I tried to do things properly. Over here, can you see the pattern now? We're moving over here to Cancer. Capricorn is the opposing sign to Cancer, so we're going to block this out over here. Pluto and Saturn are now in direct motion. And now we're going to look for Neptune, okay, over here. Neptune is already marked as retrograde. Now we're going to go to Uranus. It's not, so we're going to mark that as retrograde. Okay, we're going to keep going. So this is now the corrected astrodoodle for Cancer. Next, for Leos, can you figure it out? It's over here. This is the Capricorn energy in the Leo charts. Pluto and Saturn are now direct, so I will scratch the retrograde sign. And there. Okay? And we're going to correct, if we need to, for Uranus and Taurus. Over here. Got it. Correct that. And Neptune in Pisces. We're going to correct this one. Okay, so this is now the corrected astrodoodle for Leos. Thank you very much. Again, remember, this is just technical stuff. I don't want anybody to get bogged down in it. On the other hand, I don't want to just pretend that these errors, technical errors, did not occur. Over here, you can see, okay? This is the Capricorn sector for Virgos. And Pluto and Saturn are in Capricorn, but they're moving direct. So we're going to scratch the retrograde marker. And we're going to look for Neptune in Pisces, which is over here in your 7th house, Virgo, and we're going to mark it retrograde. And we're going to look for Uranus and Taurus over here in your 9th house. We're going to mark that as retrograde. Okay? So this is now your corrected chart, dear Virgos. Next up, we have Libras. Okay, we've just had the Libra new moon over here, the Pacific time zone, early this morning. So it's happening. This is happening right now, and I'm going to find your Capricorn energy over here. All right, so I'm going to black that out and black that out. Pluto and Saturn are now moving direct. Let's go and find Uranus and Taurus, okay, which is over here. Okay, in your 8th house. I'm going to mark that as retrograde. And Neptune in Pisces, I'm going to mark that as retrograde. Okay? So if anybody has any questions about these kind of things, you're welcome to check in. Okay? And we'll deal with it if you book a reading or something like that, okay? Next over here for all the Scorpios. Here is your Capricorn section in your chart. This is now moving direct. Pluto and Saturn are now moving in direct motion. Let's look for Uranus in Taurus, which is over here. Well, it's interesting. I got that one correct, but I messed up this one. Here we go. So now these are corrected. This is your chart, Scorpio, corrected. Gosh, I hope there aren't any other major astrologers who are watching the Terra Lumination channel Astrodoodles right now. Sorry about that. That would be just not my idea of fun. So let's keep going. I'm going to find over here for you The Sagittarians. This is your Capricorn section over here. So let's make sure that Pluto and Saturn are shown going direct. Okay? And now we're going to find Uranus. Well, let's go to Pisces first. The Neptune and Pisces over here. Marking that now as retrograde. And the Uranus and Taurus isn't even marked. Okay, and we're going to mark it on there. There we go. See, we got it now. Fully accountable. Thank you, Sagittarius. I ask your forgiveness. Next over here for the Capricorns. Of course, it's very important. You might feel a bit of a movement forward in your life, things in a way you can't control, almost like being swept by a wave that you perhaps hadn't expected. It's all for your favor. Over here, now let's look at the Neptune in Pisces over here. Correcting it now. And we're going to look at the Uranus and Taurus over here, correcting this now. So this is now your newly corrected Astrodoodle Capricorns for October. Okay, and next we're going to go to the Aquarius chart over here. You'll see that Capricorn is up in this area now. So we're going to scrub the retrograde symbol. Okay. Even though I haven't talked a lot about this one for you, Aquarius, it's actually a really important part of your chart to consider. All right, let's have a look at Uranus and Taurus over here in your 4th house. It's now retrograde. So you might have some interesting surprises and upheavals in your, let's say, domestic world. And Neptune in Pisces is over here. I'm going to mark that as retrograde. So this is now your corrected chart, Aquarius. There you go. I'll just hold it up for a second in case you need that. Next, and finally, we have Pisces here. So here is the Capricorn energy for you, dear Pisces. Okay, up in your 11th house. So I'm going to mark this off. Delete, delete. Now we're going to look for the Taurus section in your chart, which is over here. I'm going to mark that as retrograde. And we're going to look for the Pisces section in your chart, which is right here. And I'm going to mark that. It's right there in your 1st house, okay? So this is now your corrected Astrodoodle. Thank you, Pisces. If anyone has any issues or questions, feel free to write in the comments or contact directly there through the links below. I'm going to leave it like this, wrap it up here. Okay. My apologies. If I was concentrating or had more time, I'm sure I would not have made these mistakes. These are the corrections. Pluto is in fact in direct motion. Saturn is also in direct motion the whole of October. Okay, I've done that. Thank you very much. Okay, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. I'm going to put this inside the playlist actually. Thank you very much. Bye-bye all.